exertion.
Ah.
He's going to get one. I was hoping for a little bit more on that peak. He had the element of surprise for the distraction set up from his teammate
Another
in his
rifle
sight,
for Vitality.
Not enough to feel comfortable here if you're Mouse.
No, definitely not if you're Brolin, low HP.
Eagle, careful.
Ropes.
Rob's trying to fight down CT, but he knows he wants that low HP player. He wants to get
Oh!
Oh my god. 7 HP Robin.
Successful. He catches himself a Brolin.
3v4.
And now the plant is being
Plant
secured. Apex
deniable? Question mark? No.
Not there in time to deny it.
But
And so
killable.
the fuse is lit.
3 and 3.
Back to a game where
Vitality
EU wins
off
at.
the back of it.
Thank fuck for that.
All 3
As he
on
waits,
CT.
Up on ticket.
Ooh!
Nice torch.
Straight to the head. Flames and Robs 2v3 and the flank around
Robin
the back.
wraps around.
Oh, that
And
could
Robs
be,
get there in time.
Robin wraps
play.
around.
Flames keeps him off the bomb.
He's got to keep them pinned.
Whoa!
He taps on a Torzy. And now it's Robs around the back.
Oh!
Flames! He doesn't even need Robs
You
right
god!
now, but he'll be the final piece. And he can't do it. So it is Flames required.
Flames versus
Time
Spinks.
ticking, dancing with death. And Spinks
No
does not
time.
have a
Flames
kick. He does not have the
masterclass.
time. A Vitality
Didn't even take any
picked
damage.
up
Does he
halfway.
stay alive here? No.
It was Messi a couple rounds back.
Wait,
Now
one
it's
round away,
Flames.
Vitality from being
Oh
2-0
my
up, right?
God.
Precise shots.
That was so good.
And it's the supporting cast. This
Map
is what
point
makes
for
Vitality
Vitality.
so strong. This is what makes them so hard to beat. Zywoo's bringing you to the finish line, but Mezzi and Flames with
This was
impact to
crazy
bring
by
you
Flame
over.
Z, no?
And look what it's done to the money here for Mounds as well. They're broken. They're completely shattered at the end. Flames with some beautiful shooting here.
How does he aim like that?
And it might just be enough to
My
close
bullets
out
go to the
second
sky
map
if
of
I
the
shoot
best
an
of
AK like
five.
that.
And it's got to just be so gutting for Mounds.
Boss.
Again, 2 maps in a row, huge runs to come back into the maps, contend down the stretch.
And just think about it. It's a best of 5. You're going up against a team that hold a 29 win streak. 6th final, looking for their 6th title. How are you going to find the way to pull back a best of 5 and reverse sweep it? I just don't see a world in which that happens.
Oh,
for
they're
Mounds.
broke. This is the final round. They're broke.
They are
They're
likely
broke.
looking at their 6th title and a 30th win in a row.
Yo, chill. It's second map,
This
not
is
third.
what Mouse have.
Bro
5
thinks-
sevens,
bro thinks
Deagles,
they're about to lift the
MP9 and a
trophy.
FAMAS.
It's not pretty, but you can always do something clever and creative. How prepared is Vitality going to be? And actually, it looks like they don't even want to let
Yes,
that
show a
clever and
mote on his
creative
co-streams.
plan come into action. They just say, we'll stay grouped up. We don't need to spread out, thin out our attack.
He's
and
subbing
actually
in.
Pick us off.
Is he?
Over to the B bomb site we go, and Apex.
He's subbing in mid?
He hasn't called a play like this all throughout the half, so Mals have no idea it's coming. It's Yimpat alone with the
I don't
Deagle.
think
Ooh,
we're
the
ready
B
for that.
rush.
Single gun shot
The
and
B
it's
rush
removed the
smokes
Deagle to
raining
stay
in.
alive. We have no utility delay either. Our buy is terrible. Not even a kid.
Impact.
We need early kill.
GG.
No problem for
GG.
Apex. Follow up
Yeah.
from Mac 10. Not good enough.
Wait.
9.
The last
2v3,
ditch
that's
effort
not
from
enough.
Mouse to lead
GG,
back into the
GG.
site. It doesn't look like it is going to be enough to keep
Spinks
them
and
going
Bola
here. Spinks
need
has
a
to make us
miracle
believe.
to
With
stay
that
alive.
MP9, he
Bola
doesn't
on
want to
1v3,
do it, so
2
it's
left.
Bola to step up instead. The Swede
Nope.
looking
Dead.
for some sweetness. but
Map
it will
gone.
not be the fact. It is Vitality last year who came to
Bro, Vitality are about to win another major. How many tournaments have they won in a row? Like, that is mental.
His door. No. Flash. Okay, I come. Yeah, we'll take over your base. Faster.
That's not a major? Wait, I thought Dallas was a major.
Are you ulted on me?
Wait, when's the next major?
Flash, actually, sorry. What? No flash, no flash.
Nice. No, I'm going. We should help him. We should
Okay,
hold
okay,
here.
okay.
Yeah.
Zen no flash, no ult, Zen no flash, no ult.
Austin, that's it. I knew it was in an A.
Okay, I'm very low.
Kill these two.
Zen's gonna go on me. Zen no flash, guys. He's knocked up.
Yeah, kill
I
them.
got Bram. Zen no flash, no ult, Zen no flash, no ult.
Smaller flash. I can
Okay,
kill
Loki's
them.
fighting down here though.
Wait, what's the longest win streak in CS history? What is it? NIP 60? 60 in a row? 60 what? 60 rounds or 60 series or 60 fucking titles? They went 60 matches, 87 maps. Okay, and they didn't drop a single map. 87 maps. That's not series, maps. They won 87 maps or what? What? 87 maps, 60 series in a row. So what is Vitality's series win in a row so far? If they have 6 tournaments, how many series? $30 series after that. So they need to basically win 12 tournaments in a row and win 60 series in a row to even come close. Bruh. NIP were fucking mental or what? 87-0? What? That'll never be broken, ever. That'll never be broken.
To the LTA, it's day 2 of playoffs.
Never.
And it's match
Never
point
broken.
for C9. Game number 1 was slow to start, but then fast to finish after C9.
All right,
had an
Umti's
advantage.
in. Reverse
Game
sweep time,
number
baby.
2 was just a beatdown.
It absolutely was, and that is why we are seeing this man on your screen, Umti, coming out, making his series debut. Of course, did play with the team for the entire split.
Bro,
until
Umti,
last
it's
week.
time.
But they decided to start with UG today. It has not worked out.
I'm an
I will
OG
not say that
Caedrel
it
watcher
was,
and an
smarter
OG
than
LTA
UG
watcher.
shoulders or
Trust me, let them
anything
cook.
like
Bro, you've been following
But
since
clearly, after
2023. What you mean
get
OG?
slapped around that bad in 2
If you were a
games,
2020
you gotta
follower,
change
I would
something.
say
You gotta do
maybe you're OG,
something.
yeah.
The question
2023?
is, how good
What the fuck?
are Umti vibes? How powerful is the change in the team going to be? Because they really
Look at this
need
homie,
it.
2021.
Every single replay player cam, head in hands, feeling the mistakes there. A lot of the plays that you see on screen in the
Who's an
previous
OG
game
in chat?
from TL, you could tell they were feeling fresh. They were.
Who's
feeling
like an
desperate.
OG?
So it's got to be a complete reversal.
And I would
2020,
say, if
Water
I'm
Gun 4,
Spawn,
not
I'm
bad.
thinking about what is the most possible comfort I can get for my team in this draft.
2020 John West,
put
I know that
APA
name.
and Ziggs. I almost don't even care if it makes sense in the draft. Just get them on absolute comfort champs, because I agree with you. Looking at their
Transcendent
faces, they were
2021, not
looking very
bad.
dejected after a lot of those plays. You want these guys feeling comfortable. You want them feeling relaxed going into this game, because any sort of a comeback has to start here. And I feel like it has to start with a good early game.
I'm an
Has to
OG
get, like, a little bit of
I just
momentum.
didn't
It's
follow
building
you for
their
the first
confidence
year because I
back
thought
up,
you
because
sucked. Okay,
they
cool,
just
thanks,
got
man.
obliterated in back-to-back games. You need something going right.
If I am Reaper, if I'm an Arrow, I'm banning the comfort picks that stand
No
out in
Ziggs
their
for you.
mind. Exactly. I'm like, you know what? Didn't care about this and any of the other ones, but I'm slamming the ban now because I know you're desperate. I know where you go. You know,
Gotta keep that mental in
Yeah.
the ditch. You already did the work putting it there. Now you do the work keeping it there.
in your time of need, you always crawl to Ziggs. We're not going to let it happen. I mean, honestly, it is very valid because we think about the last time they played versus Cloud9.
Okay.
His Ziggs was doing
Perfect.
mega work. It stole Baron. He was like 6-0.
Took 3 towers in 4 minutes, I think it was.
Yeah, and like they would have won that second game if they didn't teleport into the Nexus turret. So, yeah, I mean, you think about these angles from both sides. So honestly, I would be kind of disappointed if Cloud9 don't play a little defense with their bans there.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm remembering that game correctly, I think that APA's only death on that last Ziggs game was at the
Nexus.
very end, right at the
Yeah.
Nexus. Had not died up until that point.
Umpty the goat is in.
So, all right, we'll see if Umpty can run the barnyard on this one and bring the Team Liquid boys back to life. We have still not got to see a Game 4 of Fearless gameplay in North America, damn it.
I told you guys not to be greedy. Asking for game 5s. One at a time.
Hey, you could graduate and watch LTA. That's a 2-for-1.
There you go. This sign guy is vindicated, though. He's, well, we'll see if he's vindicated. If Umpty can bring the team back, then clearly the man with the sign knew something.
There you go. Get him up on stage.
Kobe told you to make a sign. Hey, look
Good job.
out, Travis.
Good job, Travis.
I know
Good
that
job,
guy.
Travis.
It's Travis Gafford of
Yeah.
Travis Gafford Industries.
Wait, was that Bucio on the side of the
Got
screen?
Basil,
there?
got
Wow, he's
Bucio,
so back in.
all the celebs in the crowd.
Celebrity
Wow.
row. For those of you guys wondering why
Let
we're
me see
not,
that bicep.
the return of the LCS, but smiley
baby.
face.
Oh, let's keep
Hell
it.
yeah.
Oh,
That's got to be the youngest fan in the audience today.
Yeah.
Getting them started early on a little bit of League of Legends
2
action.
years younger than Sniper.
that baby looked like it wanted some more games.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
baby looked like they wanted a TL
Gonna
win.
have to hit Challenger next year if he wants to keep pace with Sniper, you know?
I think we all want some more
Just
games.
kidding.
For those of you wondering
Yet-
why we haven't got into
I
the draft
couldn't
just
read
yet,
that.
we're still just making sure Umpty gets set up. Obviously, you know, you
Has to
swap
do
in a new
his tech
player, has to do his tech checks, make sure all of his peripherals and settings and everything are where they need to be. So once Umpty's good to go, we'll be good to go, and we can get into this draft. We've talked a lot about how Team Liquid needs to reset, make sure that their
Sorry, I'm just talking to
positive
Dom about
mental
LTA.
attitude is present on the team before they even get onto the Rift. But for C9, I think it's the exact opposite.
That's like a
You
Cassante
gotta
copy
make
pasta.
sure-
It's
yeah.
gotta be.
As
I see
soon as I see
4700, I know it's a
47,
Cassante.
I
That's all I
cannot
needed to
read
know.
a single letter of Korean, but I see 4700.
But Cassante copy pasta, it transcends. You know, it goes beyond language.
It is a block of Korean text with a couple very specific numbers in it.
Exactly.
Oh, there we go. APA
Boom.
Ziggs.
Or
All right,
boom.
there's the card right there.
D9 have not banned it yet.
Oh boy. And Team Liquid, they
They
got
are-
first pick. They can just slam the Ziggs if they want.
Okay, I'm back.
On the
Sorry, I was
right
yapping to
side,
Dom.
So it's a little bit more pinched, but come on.
All right. Yone,
I swear, if they let it through
Silas.
and then TL
Yone,
wins,
Silas,
you're never
Gwen
gonna hear the
ban.
end of it.
I don't know what's going on, but happy to be here.
So
W.
what's happening is League of Legends, you know,
Yeah,
we're playing
yeah.
best 5, Cloud9,
Pantheon,
Team Liquid,
Kalista.
top of the LTA, should be
Last
a
ban,
marquee matchup here. We're
Lucian.
gonna go to 4 games at least for sure.
Okay,
Is it a
so
Maokai first pick or
ban
what?
the Yon Lucian instead. I feel like that
Is that an
also a
Umti-chan?
comfort pick. Like it's
Yeah.
not
That's
iconic
dangerous,
to the
yeah.
level of the APA Ziggs, but it is one of Yon's flashiest champions. He's really, really good on it. I respect banning that one away. Nico is another pick that APA has played plenty of times in the past. We've seen him be very creative on this champion, using the disguise capabilities of it.
Are you gonna
very
play Elden Ring Night
effectively.
Rain? Yeah,
Maybe
probably, but I
this
won't
is the
play it
pick.
when it
Maybe
gets
this
released.
is
I'll
the
probably have to
comfort
find a group
instead, and it looks like
in some
we are
downtime.
going to get that one locked in.
Also got to remember,
But I'm
shooting down
insane at
support
Elden
has
Ring.
become
I'm
very
actually like,
popular
I
in
am
support as well. Though it's not really something I super
the Elden
associate
Lord.
with Core
So
JJ. There's still
when I
time.
do make the team,
agree,
we're gonna
there's still
speedrun
time
it.
for Bard.
Maybe not a lot of time, but there
You've
is
watched me play Elden Ring, chat.
Yeah.
Unbeatable.
Got at least one more game
He
to
is
play.
locked in.
Unbeatable.
Focused up. Let's see what they want to go with first here on the C9 side. Still only on game 3, so Fearless has taken a few choices away, but there's still a lot of the meta options left.
Nico
that's
first
terrible.
pick. They deny the
okay,
Maokai from Umti.
Okay, so we have an early
Probably a good
Maokai
adaptation
lock
to
for
do that,
Cloud9.
no?
So,
You
yeah,
need,
I
you
mean,
need
the
some
Jake
champs that
priority
pair well
does
with
go
Maokai.
up.
Tristana
Why
is a
does
perfect
AD
champ, but I
mid
was about
go
to say
up?
it
There you go,
perfectly.
instantly going for
Fits
Trist.
Maokai.
You know, with Skarner gone, he picks
Fantastic
Maokai.
so
It
far
is
from
kind of
C9.
limiting some of the chance that Umti would be known about playing for. So
Is
it's
it
like,
Sejuani
when
duty
AD
for
talked
Umti?
about how they would
I don't know
utilize
why, but
the
every time I think of
6-man
Umti,
roster,
I think
he
of
was
tank
saying
junglers.
Umti would come in, play the tank junglers, play that supportive
Okay, good.
style, and then when
It
Yuji
has to
came
be a
in, he would play the
Sejuani, right?
carries. Well, Skarner is gone. Now Maokai is gone. There is still Sejuani available if you want to force a tank. We don't know for
Yorick
sure that that's what
blind.
he's actually going to do, but that is what we have been told he is going to do.
Okay, blind Yorick lock.
Umti Vi, you're not ready.
This is
By the way
definitely
you've
spooky.
wrote that,
You know,
I'm
we
happy
talked about
Vi's
this,
already out.
Yesterday we
He
did
is
see
a
the
scary
Mordekaiser
character.
as an as
He
an
lives in the
answer.
cemetery.
That's true. But Aurelia to me is always something I think of when I think of horrible matchups. I don't know that Thanatos is going to feel confident to play it. But really
Nocturne
anything that is
Yorick.
quickable and has dashes that can play
Nocturne
around in the
Nico
top
I
lane
like.
can be
Nocturne
very
Yorick.
difficult for the Yorick.
I love pairing it
Thanatos,
with
is it
Nocturne because
Mordekaiser
you're
time or
always
what?
trying to push, and so you get your Nocturne to
Oh, wait,
cover,
this
so you
Nico
can't
can go
cover.
mid,
Some
can't
of
it?
these
Oh, I
matchups
forgot.
you're talking about are so risky
Okay.
if they get camped by jungle.
It can
and
go
if they
mid.
do kill it, so I really actually like that Nocturne lock-in for Umti for Team Liquid. Nice kind of answer. Plus, they're keeping the
That's
Nico,
a Nico
as the
flex.
flex.
Oh,
A lot of
yeah.
playmaking
Oh
there.
my
This
god,
is
that's
the
crazy.
exact same matchup as they had last time.
That
when they
is
played,
crazy.
where
I mean,
Thanatos
Yon would really
flamealized
like
it.
to play like a
So,
Kai'Sa this
definitely
game.
did not go well for Impact last time, and it looked to me like Impact hadn't really gotten enough games on the champ to super understand some of the kind of little small
I wouldn't give him
details
Kai'Sa,
about
whether it's
controlling
banning or
the game
picking it
and
away.
things like this. And so Thanatos has it up and available. He's going to go right back to it, and we'll see if Impact can run back this same matchup and do better than last time.
And I mean, we talked about it earlier in the series
They're banning
about
mids.
how Thanatos does have this pool of champions, and he really likes playing, and a lot of them
I
are
think this
very
Nico
meta
will go
picks,
mid,
and
won't it?
Gnar is one of them. This guy knows how to pilot this champion.
I
very
wonder if they
skillfully.
flex the
As we
Tristana
jump into
into
second
the-
half of bans,
into the
and
Nico.
Orianna will be the first one here for C9, so they're saying that they do think that Nico.
It's
probably
2 a.m.
going
I'm
down
watching
to
you with some
scoreboard
brandy
before
and a
JJ
bowl of
targeting
boiled
the
beef
mid lane
Szechuan
for
style, and I have to
APA
wake up in 5 hours.
instead, as Team Liquid will
Respect.
ban out the Ziggs themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's because they see the Tristana, you know, AD mid, and you're like, well, Maokai's not always enough magic damage, so they
A
probably,
bit of brandy.
or could look for some more magic damage from their bottom side of the map. So that's why, you know, they themselves ban the Ziggs. As
Do you
funny
ban
as
like
it
a
is to
soul
see
here for
TL
C9 or
Ziggs,
something? Do you just take away on the
ban,
mids?
it
I guess
is
Orion and
justified.
Nocturne makes
When I do
sense,
that, I
but
just
yeah,
blame
Kai'Sa,
teams.
yeah,
It's
like I
I've
said,
seen you play
Kai'Sa is
that.
a
I
big
don't wanna
champ.
see that again.
Oh yeah,
For
we
TL.
can't afford to have this on the
What's
team
another good
today.
champ for TL in AD carry?
Kai'Sa
I think
gonna be
Senna
taken
is a good
away
champ.
here From Yon. Of
If
course,
I was
again,
C9, I would
makes
take away
sense.
Senna
They're
on
showing
4.
A lot of dive here with the Nico, with the
It does
Nocturne.
kill the
You know,
Tristana
Kai'Sa would
flex
be an
though,
AD
but if
that
you can
would pair
flex the
really
Senna,
well
Senna into
alongside
Nocturne
that.
sounds miserable.
Okay, let's see what our last ban here for TL is. Do they want to focus something else? It might be an AP threat down in the bot lane. No,
I
they're
think
just
Senna
gonna go with one of those
plus
threats that are
Nautilus,
not
4-5 for
those through
TL
you
could
if
win them the
ulti
game.
setup is there. So
Actually,
there's Fortune
draft
and
is
Ziggs.
useless.
Your
Oh, they're
second
gonna
half
take it
bans
away.
for
They are
TL.
gonna deny the Senna.
Orianna and
I
Kai'Sa
think
from
C9's drafting is
C9,
very
and
strong.
They are gonna lock in the Senna for the Infinity
Very
Scale.
good
Something
drafting
I
from
also
C9.
really like about Senna is you talked about Nocturne, the ability to attack in the side lane.
I don't know
Zenit
what you
doesn't
pick
need
now,
to be able
Yon.
to see
You
on the
got
map
anything?
because
Like
you can
Nila?
ping
You
where
wanna
the
take Nila or
Nocturne's
something?
ulting,
I
you can
don't know,
send it
man.
all across map, even during that Nocturne ult to help out your Gnar if he's getting attacked in the side lane. So I think it's actually a really good pick. And some of the most common pairings are things like the Nautilus, which is still up and available. Hasn't actually been played thus far, isn't banned out. So you can easily get a strong support pairing
Ashe,
there too.
Caitlyn.
And
okay,
I
so
do
Zeri.
really like the Senna. I mean, especially because you're pairing
But
it
Nautilus is
with
open.
Tristana. Like, it needs some sort of high DPS with it. It is kind of like more potent.
I think they just go Nautilus on 5 here, C9, and call it a day.
I mean, I like the Nautilus. I like these engage picks with the Senna. You could
I
also
think
do a Blitzcrank.
Nautilus on 5, and they have Nautilus Maokai into Zeri. I think C9's very happy.
The classic Maokai ultimates and hooks to pull people in.
I would say this is the one draft, if they go Naut on 5, that I think C9 wins the draft.
You know, the Yorick with all
And they're winning the hand diff.
And Nico clone and stuff. It's like, there's so much stuff that is just going to block your skill shots, man.
Chat, I'm going to run ads. If you want to buy ads, you can use tier 1 or 2 times to support the channel. You don't have to sub if you don't want to. Back to the game starts.
When you play against Nefiri and you're trying to hit skill shots and the dogs are blocking everything.
Oh, I like the C9 comp. I like it. This is the one draft from C9 where I think, damn, that's pretty good.
There's a lot of crap on my screen. I don't want to hook any of it.
Accurate description. And so they do go with the Nautilus. The point and click ultimate can, you know, go under.
It goes past the crap.
It goes under all the crap.
The depth charge can defeat the power of crap that Team Liquid can summon through the Yorick. So, okay, we've got the Senna Nautilus duo down there in the bottom lane. Maokai and Nautilus, powerful engage. Over on the other side,
You just like the tree?
I really got my eyes
What's
on
wrong with
Umpty
liking
on
the tree?
Nocturne in this one. We've already talked about how he needs to come in here, and hopefully that's a mental reset for TL to bounce back after that rough game 2. But also, the pressure's on for him. Non-subscribers, we'll see you in 30 seconds. But for everybody else, the Nocturne ulti, we always talk about this character. Your first ult on Nocturne, you need that to be impactful. The cooldown is so long, and it becomes so difficult to affect the map and can mess it up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm definitely going to be looking at Umpty, especially coming in a series like this where it's match point. He hasn't played League today, right? Like, that is actually a really big deal, right? This is his first game, and it's an elimination. So
True, actually. He hasn't played a single game of League today, unless he played solo queue.
People kind of work out those jitters, have that time to really kind of ease themselves into the series. He doesn't get that luxury, and that is going to be very, very important. I also really have got to keep my eyes on Impact here in this top lane because he played this exact same matchup. He got clapped in it last time. You know, yes, I think that was the Ziggs game where they kind of almost won anyway, but you know, it's one of those things where he has to show that he can make this Yorick worthwhile, because Yorick is not a team fighter. Like, you have to win your 1v1. You just have to, or you don't really contribute much to the game whatsoever.
Well, we'll see how heavy is Impact's shovel this game. Is this a concussion causer in the top lane? Because it's going to need to be.
He's got a nice skin for it. Nice little chroma down there, so
That's
at least looks
Kobe's
good.
giving him a check so far.
Good start.
You gotta look good to play good. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see.
starts with the right.
Did you
stick.
ask Dom if game 3 is more expensive than game 2? Yeah, I wonder how much they're
Loki gonna
charging.
walk right into the brush, but he's
Per
got
game.
the rocket jumps right back out. Yes, the clock has moved far
I haven't
forward
played
enough that he
League
can't go back
in
to base,
years,
get the
but
recall, get
sometimes
the
I
full
dream that
heal,
I get subbed
but
into a
because
pro
he has
game
the
and then I
rocket jump,
proceed to
he doesn't
feed and
take
lose
an
the game.
absurd amount of damage.
Yeah, he doesn't take.
Oh,
a
I
huge
did
amount
that
of
without
damage, doesn't lose
dreaming.
his summoner, doesn't lose his life, but you are now starting W level 1, so you're gonna have to lose the push there, and he is down a couple hundred health, right? So that's minus a potion in a bit. So APA gonna be pretty happy about it, even though it doesn't result in any sort of a big kill. That being said, APA did start E there to try to actually lock him down, so it's not as big of an advantage as it normally would be.
And I think for me, so far, Loki has been my front runner for player of the series so far in this series. So we'll see if APA can step up and answer him. But right now, we've got Kangas standing by for an interview with Team Liquid coach Spawn.
Spawn, give it to me
I'm here
straight.
with Spawn.
What's the
big
damage?
story has been UG versus Umpty. Now we have Umpty in for game number 3. I want to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a couple of junglers up that Umpty's really good at the moment, like very high priority on Nocturne, Maokai, Sejuani at this stage of the draft. I think there's a Umpty specialist champion, so it makes sense to play him.
I mean, that was the big idea behind the 6-man roster, was that you can utilize those champ pools. How prepped were you coming into the series that this is something that you'd be pulling out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every single game this week, actually, we opened scrims with UG 1-2 and Umpty 3 regardless of results, so this is pretty much how we thought the series was going to go, so that's what we thought.
All right, cool. How confident? Can you give everybody at home something to believe in? We won a game 4. We haven't had a game 4 in Best of 5 Fearless left. Do you think this is the one?
I mean, I hope it's a one. We've got to start somewhere, right? We've got a pretty big hole that we dug ourselves into, so let's see if we can force a game 4.
All right, well, Team Liquid fans will be cheering for you. That's it from us. Back to the casters.
As far as
W
Umpty
spawn.
Nocturne does go, I expect him to go with the standard Stridebreaker Nocturne build, but it is worth mentioning that there is a new solo queue build that I've been seeing a lot where people
Leaked
actually
his strat,
take
though.
the Inspiration Tree second for Triple Tonic,
Carry junk.
and they do an 8 camp clear, sell off the Triple
Loki in
Tonic,
pocket.
so you have enough for a BF Sword on first back, and then you can actually do first item Yuntao. But, of course, expect him to go with the Stridebreaker build, as we said, because he has not
Umti
gone
wants
utility
bot crab.
tree, just has gone the standard
Is
ultimate
Umti getting
hunter
that bot
here
crab?
for Nocturne,
Yes, I
and
think he is.
standard full clear for Nocturne, so he might actually go for a little bit of a scuffle around the first crab as Maokai will join
Crabber.
up.
Yeah, Blabber's going to start
Oh,
up
he
the
yoinked
crab
it.
and immediately secure
Oh, it's
it with
Aura.
the Smite Bramble Smash
Just a
combo
second too late.
before
If he
Umpty
did
can move in and
optimize
steal
clear with a
away.
couple seconds
Generally,
faster,
when
he
you
had
look
that.
at a jungler 1v1, you
But you'll get
expect
top crab.
Nocturne to smack Maokai
He will
around.
get top
So
crab.
Blabber, nice job there securing what he needs and getting out as Vulcan's on the losing side of a trade with Yon and Core down here in the bot lane.
Yeah, and you can see Blabber's actually moving over towards this other scuttle, so he's considering just contesting
Missed the
both.
bush.
He has his smite, so he has
Wait,
another
he's getting
charge
double
of
crab.
smite available
What?
here. Either that or it was Umpty's smite on the
Did
previous
Appa
one.
take a
so
bad
he's-
trade or
he's
something?
ready to
He
go,
had
and he's gonna
mid-push,
actually
didn't he?
double scuttle, so going to be feeling really good.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, the 2v2 keeps on going. Blabber
Well,
secures
Umpty's
that
just
top
fucked,
side crab.
I
Vulcan
guess.
gets ignited,
Crabber
uses
eats his
his
crabs.
own heal in response. So support non-flash summoners used on both sides.
This is just going exceptionally well for Blabber. I mean, Maokai Q is very OP, but still, getting both scuttles here, back into his reverse clear. Talking about
Getting
8
both
camp
scuttles
clears,
is
he's gonna get a 9
crazy.
camp clear for a
That
first
sucks for
clear,
Nocturne,
which
man.
is
Nocturne relies so
amazing
heavily on
for
getting
the
full
Maokai.
clears into
Yeah, but
crabs.
his first base, he's going to have like 1,300 gold, and we are assuming he's going to go AP. He would be solo AP, so is going to be, really accelerating that clear.
And look at what we got here today. C9 in their
You have a biscuit?
disastrous loss last week against
Flash Q?
FlyQuest.
Bonk?
Score
Any
looked like
bonkers?
that. Thanatos tries to flash away from Impact, who flashes first. Unless you flash first on the Gnar,
God.
as soon as he starts swinging that shovel, it buffers through and you're dead. Impact with the solo kill for the first
Wait,
time
the
this
reverse sweep
split.
pace, I'm
You were
kind of feeling it,
asking
you know?
How heavy is that shovel? It's looking pretty big. Gets him right over the head there.
For LCK,
Takes
heavy
down
is the
Thanatos,
crown.
Gets the flash as well.
For
Barely
TL,
had
heavy
enough
is the
mana
shovel.
for that final
They
Q,
digging themselves
and is
deep in
able
the
to finish him
series,
off.
but they're
I said
gonna
he had
dig
to win
themselves
lane.
out with the
You
Yorick.
called it out. That's his first solo kill of the split. First regular season in his career, he didn't get one. First series in playoffs, grabs it, gets the early tabbies here, and he's going to be feeling good.
It is so hard now for Gnar to work through that defense. The tabbies early with the shield, with the extra regeneration from biscuits and potions still in inventory for Impact. This is worlds better than the first
Bonk.
time that they played this matchup.
How cool is
and
Yorick?
Now he can look to try and abuse it.
Baby Cage.
Impact just chases him down there, use the cage, force out the hop.
And now that you force the hop here, if you can get
No,
another
the
trade,
ghoulie
you can
wall.
summon the Maiden and really get some damage down. But of course, Thanatos is going to respect that. He's just going to play back. But this Prio does earn them the Dragon here. Umpty is over on it. Blabber is moving
Wait,
in the
TL
area,
get a
but
Drake.
without Prio bot, without Prio mid, there's no real chance.
I used to
think he
pray for
fully
times
commits
like
to this.
these.
Yeah, this is total TL control.
The amount I've seen I've seen Maokai's flash Q smite steel dragons twice today and die.
That was way too
I
close
didn't
to
want to
what
see it
should
happen a
have been.
third
That
time.
is now 3 out of 3 games that Team Liquid gets the first Drake.
If you early smite and no one's around to see it,
He was
did
right
you
there.
early smite?
He was watching.
Yeah, he saw it. We saw it. They saw it. A lot of people saw it.
Ooh, into tower range. Oh, no
Thanatos
second shot though.
finds a nice usage of the Gnar ulti there onto Impact to scoop him into the turret range, find some quick trades
Wait.
on him, hits him with a wallop yet again,
Is
crunch
Impact just
forward,
dead?
and a Q straight to the
What?
face. Now Umpty's gonna die for free
What?
in the follow-up. Team
What the
Liquid.
hell?
Oh,
What the
no.
hell?
Double kill over to Thanatos after the early solo
What the
death,
hell?
as Sven and Vulcan now have to continue trying to disengage up here in the top lane. APA is coming up to try to join. At least they're going to force the flash out of Vulcan, but you're only getting a flash from C9 when C9 got 2 kills in the bottom lane.
I mean, that is so rough, and it's a 160-second cooldown on the Maiden that only starts after it dies. And he summoned it as he was losing that fight, so not only do you lose your advantage in the side lane, now you have well over 2 minutes where you can't pressure the
Core,
Gnar
Yon,
whatsoever.
I'm sorry. Vulcan,
And just like that,
stop trying to
his
hook
lead
my
is
internet
gone, and
cables.
He's at a huge deficit.
So if
Wait,
you
low
early
keys here.
smite and
No flash on
thousands of
Leona.
people
Could have
see
jumped
it,
on his
then
ass, but
you
he's gonna
and
take a
your
base.
top laner instantly die.
That's the punishment.
That's what we've learned.
It's very severe consequences.
But honestly,
It's all
like,
for a
this
cannon
1v1
minion,
is
isn't it?
very important, but also the Maokai being level
Goes
6.
for the
Blabber's
cannon.
lead really does matter in the chase down.
Shoved.
Starting out though,
Stunned.
For the cannon.
Tanking the
Worth.
wave.
Got it.
Tower shot.
I mean,
Umti
it's
kind
right
of
in
has
front
to
of the
stop
turret,
Blabber
so
from getting
Thanatos
to
even
bot,
got him
but
in
he
range
gets
for a
solo
tower
killed
shot.
anyway.
Then, as you say, you sudden the maiden, so then really bad afterwards there too. But then Blabber here, really nice.
Well played by
Q
Blabber.
flashes over him and has the ultimate because of his previous level 6, and so they get the double kill back over.
Well played by
to
Blabber.
Thanatos.
Well,
So
well,
even you,
why
though
is that
you
so
got
hard
the
to say?
solo
Well
for
played by
Impact, your glory
well
days
played
are
by
so
Blabber.
short-lived.
All right,
as
they're getting
you
grubs.
Immediately got shut down there.
Yeah, it's like you're going on your victory lap and you trip and fall and roll your ankle, and it's tough.
That's a rough one there, but at least it looks like Team Liquid is going to control the neutrals early on in this one on both sides of the rift once more. They've already got all 3 of the Void Grubs.
Yeah, and something else we hadn't checked in on, obviously is the fact that Jan, early call here, he's playing the Zeri, scales incredibly well itself, and is up, a little bit of gold there, about 300 in the advantage right now before having actually cashed that call in. APA obviously doing fine in the mid lane there against Loki. So things, definitely not out of control by any means yet for TL, but
Oh,
it's
Cancelo.
definitely a bit of a sinking feeling when you start to fall behind in the 1v1 as Yorick.
Yeah, this is a bit of a tough
I
one
guess
right
LTA
now.
was really like, oh,
Already
Caedrel's
been
going to
on
coach him.
flowers.
Let's get
1-1
Unk to bed
on
real
flower
quick.
petals
Huge.
here, nice and early.
3-0, 3-0.
I love the search around for the screen for something here.
I am doing my due diligence, looking for these different elements of the game of League of Legends, Mr. Kobe.
We've got a 1-1. We've got a good tie
He got the
here.
cancel on the Yorick base again.
Thanatos does not have a lot of Gnar bars.
Ooh, the Maokai ult does sting here a bit.
The whole team down here bottom lane for a bit of a party.
But Nocturne
Umpty
is
gonna see
leveling up.
Vulcan lurking there
Or he's
in
level
the
6 rather.
jungle. And with that bit of vision, that means that C9's plan is found out. Team Liquid can take a defensive position, but Thanatos teleports up into the top lane to get some free pressure.
Exactly. Impact did not have his TP, and he got delayed a number of times there as C9 was stepping forward. So I should be able to get up there to collect most of this wave, but will still lose a little bit of farm and a play potentially if Thanatos wants to play for it. He's not going to be greedy, though. He will reset because he didn't base before TPing top, so wants to spend that gold and just keep his pressure on the map.
And I want to point out Blabber here on the Maokai, hovering around because they know that Umpty's on bottom side.
Okay,
with
good
Nocturne
cover by
already.
Blabber.
They've got
They
good
kind of need
wards,
to get this wave in, though. It's
inside
frozen.
the Krug camp up towards the top of
Ooh,
Raptors
this is
2.
awkward for C9.
And so he's done such a good job.
I
on
guess
this
they're just
Maokai.
gonna run mid or what?
Following, mirroring
doing?
this Nocturne, as well as even staying above him a slight bit in camps.
And I mean, we heard from the interview with
Oof,
Spawn
Impact's
that he
down
was talking
600
about
gold,
how,
even though he solo killed his lane.
Maokai,
Punished for winning
Nocturne,
lane.
Sejuani,
But then
these types of
actually, is he
champions that are
punished for
still
winning
out.
lane?
This
Because he
is
did
Umpty's
int it.
wheelhouse, so they're happy to bring Umpty in right now. But Blabber has an insane lifetime win rate on Maokai. This is one of the iconic Blabber champions, and this
I
is
think
just
Sven is
another
so
game
paranoid
kind
of
of
a Nocturne
showcasing
going for
why.
his head.
The early crab control, being able to outplay Umpty in the river as they're both approaching that 1v1 between their top laners in that bottom lane fight. He's just where he needs to be on the champ.
I believe in a Team Liquid game one, one game win.
Closing in on that
I believe in it.
Umpty, I think a lot of pressure
TL
on him
will
to be
win a
able to
game.
make this first ultimate really pay dividends. He's got to get something done with that. He's sitting at level 8 now.
They will fight this next Drake, and they will win the Drake fight. And Jon will get a triple kill and carry the game.
We've been talking about, and we want to see him find some way. If Thanatos uses his jump aggressively in the side lane, maybe you can look for a play there.
Oh, Loki jumps
You see,
back and flashes
on
away
paper
from
that looks
APA,
good.
Who thought he might have had him
But
there
now Nico has
on
no
the
Drake,
flank
ult for
of
Drake,
Blossom.
and that makes
So
me
at
kind of
least they get
sad.
the flash out of the C9 mid laner. They're going to get the teleport from both mid laners, though, as APA TP'd in to try to make that move.
Well, you did actually force the flash. It's going to be hard to fight the dragon now because APA with his ulti is very weak by comparison.
Does C9 fight the Drake though? I don't know what Tristana items are. If you got a
Force
BF,
this, or if C9 will successfully challenge
great
as
turn.
immediately
Great
a
turn.
ton of damage
That's what I'm
onto
talking about,
Blabber,
TL. Great turn.
disrespectfully walking
Fantastic.
up, and Team Liquid
Love that.
explode him.
I swear, this brush,
Beautiful.
when you're approaching dragon fights, that thing is key. That is #1 objective when approaching all
Okay.
these guys getting
Team
killed,
Liquid throw a
flashing
punch
out
for the
of that
first time in
brush,
the
getting these
series.
engages.
That looks
this time
good.
Around, it's actually TL making the snap engagement, as Blabber approaches the dragon, and they're the ones that leave no room. It's kind of the opposite of what we saw in the first game.
Exactly, and this 6-man roster is just one of a number we've seen in the years here. You know, these notable 6-man rosters, the Sword and Shield with Impact and Ray. We've had, you know, Blabber and Svenskeren rotating through, Jensen and Golden Glue rotating through with the Swole Bros, one of their famous comebacks, you know, coming in when they were down 3-1, being able to make it happen. And a lot of these teams have actually worked out pretty well. We are very early days,
Caedrel and Faker was a six-man roster once upon a time.
Roster here, but it's going to be able to be really interesting to see how this does work out. You know, does this become something that is long-term? Do they move towards one player more?
Classics, these 6-man rosters, classics.
JJ thought he was moving around to make a play here on Thanatos, but Blabber is ready
Do
to
they
join
win
and
this
make it an
C9?
honest 2v2. Vulcan joins up again.
I guess they do with Nautilus being there first.
Blabber going forward with a twisted advance, and the feat of warfare is claimed by C9 as
Loki.
2 kills are instantly picked up. Loki
He's doing
versus APA
negative damage. I need to see those Shusanna items because he definitely doesn't have a BF sword.
Does not have the tools to try to fight back just yet. Jan showed up, but the Zeri doesn't have enough damage yet to really impact anything.
Core JJ, in their series versus Shopify, he basically
does.
solo
What?
won the game,
That guy's so
invading
tanky.
like that and going super deep.
It looked like
But
he was
this
healing him. I know he was
series,
eating
has had
fruits, but what the fuck?
back picks where he is extremely deep in enemy territory.
Okay,
no
Yuntal
backup
Susanna.
at all, and also not really accomplishing a lot. So it's a very high risk with very low reward and keeps getting punished for it. Let's see about this red buff. Blabber at least secures that one as well.
Takes his Raptor, takes his red, sure.
Yep, it does.
Umti gets a Raptor.
And
Yummy.
this is going to be the experimental Hex plate here for Umti. So not Stridebreaker first, but this obviously, you know, does give you
Not
more
enough
ulti-CDR,
XGGs.
is a lot of power,
Fact.
gives you additional move speed, and does allow you to duel very effectively during that ultimate.
And the reason a lot of people don't like this one is because it does allow you to get more ults off, but it is less threatening when you do go for them. So if he can get off a bunch of ults and you're actually using your R like on cooldown, then it is very, very good. If not, then yeah, not so good.
Yeah, I mean, Stridebreaker is just so nice at getting you the fear tower.
Appa's
right?
faking
you get
being
in there, you slow them down, you have the additional move speed following your
I thought they were
going to
set up a play there where Appa
but
fakes
we'll
being Zeri and Zeri hides in top push.
Out across the map. Jan obviously very strong, but you know, showed up to that fight, as you said, Flowers, and it's like there's 3 beefy C9 members. You can't really E into the middle of all of them. You're just going to die. So now we've kind of gone back into this slower stage of the game here, where Impact, you know, is trying to get Prio.
The
in
rats
that
want to
side,
attack.
He doesn't have his ulti right now, though, so it's just, again, becoming a real
Throw
problem.
them.
I mean, he's down 1.3K. It's kind of turning into a bit of a repeat of that last matchup.
I mean, they both got a pair of red shoes, except Thanatos has a Trinity Force and Impact has the parts of a Trinity Force. Pretty distinct difference.
But it looks like
in
Yorick,
power
even
there
without
for
Triforce,
the
is
C9
kind of
top
chilling in
laner.
this lane.
He'll kill off the ghouls as he kites them out, fights them out, and we've got the Rift Herald spawning here in about 5 seconds. You can see APA hanging around that topside river, but Loki, Blabber, Sven, and Vulcan also all nearby on the other side as Sven's going to get this mid lane wave shoved up. First item online for both AD carries is the static shift for the additional wave clear, and Blabber's going to start up the Herald.
Well, they do have Umti rotating over, so this very well could be the answer.
JJ eats the damage from the initial sapling there from Blabber. There's your vision
misses.
plan. Vulcan goes fishing, but he does not find
Gets
anybody
the
with
pink.
the dredge line. C9 still looking to make sure
A
they
bit
can
split
secure
here, C9.
this Herald. There's your paranoia. Umti
Oh,
jumps in.
Loki
the
got
Herald
it.
is going to be slain by Loki. Now
TP
C9
came in
gonna
from
secure
Nar.
a big three-man
Big
pop
dive
off
by
them.
Yappity Yap.
Team Liquid finally
No
find
Mega
what they're
Nar.
looking for as Sven, Vulcan, and Thanatos all got to try
Okay.
to get Thanatos
Team Liquid want me to miss my
teleported
flight.
to join
I
the
like
fight,
it.
But C9 still lost it. Now
I'll sit up in my
gets to
chair.
slam
Okay.
the bottom lane tier
TL's
1
fucking
turret.
here for
They
once.
lost everything. Not only do they lose that fight, but Thanatos got his teleport
They're actually
off
here.
as
They
the
get bot tier
Nocturne
1.
ultimate was
They get
procced,
2 kills.
so
They lose
also
Herald.
lose bottom
But they
lane.
might get top
That
tier
is
1 as well.
An absolute catastrophe for Cloud9. TL reaps so many rewards. They win the entire map in that sequence.
And they get feats off of that first tower that Impact is grabbing.
Didn't get the
so that
cancel.
was so big and actually closing the gap a little bit down there. Impact now at least gets his drive.
2 Drakes as well.
This is
Top
huge
tier.
for
Well,
TL. They're
this
gonna be able to
game
get
is
the top tier
completely
one
won.
as well. They're opening up a pretty big gold lead. And look at where the gold is mostly at. It's on Jan. It's on the Zeri. He's
Jan,
gonna be
this is your
very,
time.
very powerful at this point. Will easily have his 2 items when he goes back to base here. You have to
Yappity
think.
Yappa with the
And we can
Nico.
watch this one more time. You're thinking, okay, with this teleport coming in for Thanatos, it could go really well for Cloud9, but they just go right in. They're able to get this massive pop
Beautiful from
blossom
Yappy
on
Yap.
multiple members. They couldn't really see
Beautiful.
the approach because of the Nocturne ultimate.
Nocturne
It
Nico,
buys
that's a
so much
T1
space for
classic.
Jan, so TL just flood in and wipe C9 off the map.
That was so beautiful from Umti and APA. As you say, with the cover of darkness, he slips in. APA got the ult into the double root as well on both of them, into the fear. they win the fight before this Mini-Gnar even arrives, and then when the Mini-Gnar arrives, you're not scared of that thing at all. So 2 towers, plus the fight, plus the Herald, Team Liquid.
The crowd is
well,
going
kill the Herald,
wild.
at least. Dragon being started up by Cloud9.
The Herald was the only thing C9 got out of that fight, and they will use it as a distraction here in mid lane while they try to fight for this 3rd Drake of the game. Team Liquid going in for the engage as Core JJ starts it off, but there's no follow-up. The Leona is already killed.
Appa can't get in there.
Ready to jump in now, but Thanatos and the rest of C9
He's kinda in there.
The shutdown
Thanatos down.
falls,
Nice flash from Yon. Going ballistic.
C9 is
Get him, boy.
left, right, and center, and Yon's the one knocking him down. Team Liquid lost 2 for 2
Blabber
so
dead.
far, but Impact
Blabber dead. You have the goody wall.
with an extra kill on Blabber.
Dead.
A little bit more damage will seal the deal.
Beautiful TL,
and
beautiful.
TL came to play in game 3.
The early moments of that fight looked tough for TL as Core JJ was kind of in there by himself. Then Umpty flies
I can
in,
hear a
but
baby
the
crying.
space they create for Yon
That
when APA
baby is a
goes forward,
C9 fan.
buys him the time
Early
to get the
fan.
damage out to win
Young
this
league enjoyer.
fight.
Yep, I mean, Cloud9 have 2 AD carries, but Yon has 2 items, and both the C9...
Quality over quantity.
Exactly. Cloud9, each AD carry only has 1 item, and the Zeri pops off. So here's another look at it. As they go for
So
the
the
initial
Leona
engage,
insta-dies.
it does kill Core JJ. Then the Nocturne
But it's just
ultimate
Yon
into
going
the follow-up.
ballistic
AK
here. Look at
locks
this.
up the front line, and
One
Yon is able
flash
to chain
forwards or E
through
forwards,
all
boom,
of them,
kill the Nautilus.
pushing them all off. Impact then chasing Blabber down on the other
Dom's
side
not a baby.
of the
What are you on about?
screen, and that should be TL as well, picking up that 3rd dragon in the aftermath. So they are keeping that dragon stacking alive. They are keeping that dragon soul very early into this game.
Yeah, I mean, it is looking really good now for TL. Yon in such a strong point of the game, how aggressively he's moving, and we're going to watch Thanatos potentially go down as he has to flash out.
I mean, they're on soul
Yon,
point. It's free win.
Flash forward, killed off the Nautilus. Honestly, could have killed Sven and Loki as well if he didn't get busted.
Whoever has the better
Had to
draft
use that
loses.
defensively as he cleansed the center.
Fact.
C9 though, going to try to trade on the
It's
other side of the
opposite
map. We'll be
day.
able to get this tier 1 top at the very least. But Impact now, from being down 1.4K,
I don't like that
has
Tristana skin.
clawed his
I'm gonna be
way
honest.
back off of some
That
of these
Tristana
fights.
skin is low
Did
elo.
get quite a bit of gold from the tower on bot after that one fight, and then picked up a kill on the back end of this one.
And I want to give praises to APA as well.
That's a low elo
especially
Tristana
after
skin.
how much of a disaster game number 2 was with the desperate Ari
Like
dive
when I
onto
see
the
a
turret
firefighter
and just the
Tristana,
obvious frustration
or like
he
an
was
Omega
experiencing
Squadron
there.
Tristana, I
Getting
know
him on
it
this
might be
counter
lost.
pick, getting him on this Nico
When I see Bewitching
here in this
Tristana, I
third
think he's
game,
first time.
the pop
Not gonna
blossoms
lie.
have been so impactful in the Rift Herald fight, creating space for this 3rd Drake fight like we were already talking about. I feel like his presence is seriously enabling Yon to pop off the way that he has, and this strategy is working for Team Liquid.
Certainly is, and the Nocturne ultimate going to come back up very
Dragon
quickly.
Trainer,
after
yeah,
that one too,
also
so
a bit scary.
They can again return to the map, put so much pressure because these outer towers have all been taken care of for the side of Team Liquid. There is just so little safe space now for Cloud9 to keep farm funneling into their double AD carries here in the Tristana and the Senna. They have to be very careful as they're rotating around the map. You could fall prey to a Nico disguised as a minion plus a Nocturne ult coming through. And Zeri's actually a very good AD carry at following up on those plays with her mobility.
And because Sven, for a lot of this game, has just been kind of tasked with picking up waves, he hasn't really been skirmishing much. He doesn't actually have a tremendous amount of souls. I mean, he's
3
at
minutes on the Drake.
47 stacks
Take
right
the
now,
free Drake,
just over
could
20
force an
minutes into the
Atakan.
game, so it's going to take him quite a long time. If you're thinking, well, maybe Senna can carry late game, kind of like we saw with Masu, that was when he was at like 140,
Ooh,
150
Loki has
stacks.
IE, but I
So
feel
that
like
is
he has
so
no
far
damage.
into the future if he can't start picking them up more consistently. I do really like the Black Cleaver here from Senna, though, being able to shred for both the
I think
Tristana and
C9's
the
kind
Gnar,
of spiking, but I
quite
don't think it
effective.
really matters because
And,
Appa has
we'll
flash
see.
and he's going to
TL
land it on
could
someone's
pull
head.
Otacon. It's spotted, though.
So TL does have a little bit over a 2,000 gold lead, but the important thing is the 2-item power spikes are still there for a lot of their C9 counterparts, right? You can see the 2nd item completed for Thanatos with the Sterix. Infinity Edge was just purchased by Loki. Otacon started up by TL, but C9 is nearby. Blabber thinking about the approach here, got Vulcan and Loki right next to him. But C9 is just deciding to surrender the Otacon. They do not want to take this fight where Team Liquid is already set up in the river, so that's TL claiming the big objective.
I think really hard to approach through that tri-brush, you know, when APA has flash, when Nocturne
Free
has
Atakan,
ult, when you have all these
uncontested, Drake in 2
cooldowns
minutes,
available,
wrap
so they say,
it
you know
up.
what, we're just not even going to risk it. We're just going to take the tower on bot side for Thanatos and look for a better opportunity later on. That being said, though, this makes TL a little bit stronger here. Get that XP, get the additional adaptive force going into this Dragon where they have a chance at Soul in just 2 minutes.
So I said it earlier as a joke with the Flowers being tied at 1-1, but it is worth pointing out that even after taking the Otacon, the Flowers are still pretty much even, 20 versus 19. C9 had been collecting more of them thus far, so when TL just had the big collector thing from killing the Otacon itself, it brought that back to a more neutral state.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's not like the old one where 30 flowers spawn that you can then, you know, kind of just gather yourself. It just gives you whatever is on the map and buffs up the ones that you
How
already
funny would it be
have.
if C9 got reverse
so it
swept,
does,
actually,
of course, have
after
some
those
power
first
there,
two
gives you some
games?
experience, gives you some AD and AP, but they are looking for Vulcan.
Now Vulcan walking away though. Core JJ already spent the solar flare, but now he's going to be locked up by the Senna. Defensive Nocturne ulti looking to save Core JJ as he barely escapes, but no, Loki is ready to hunt him down, and that's
Thanatos,
a
you
big
good?
mistake from the Team Liquid support. But now a nice catch there onto Thanatos means that C9's front line takes some damage on the way back
Blabber
out.
flash
But
Q
Blabber
onto Impact.
has made a move towards Impact. The depth charge chases him down, and Vulcan flashes over the wall.
Oh.
Team Liquid with some critical
There's
blunders.
no objective,
Cloud9
so
as
it doesn't
well,
really
with
matter.
Just some bloodthirst here. They see an opportunity, they full send because they know they do not want to let Team Liquid buy the time to set up for the Dragon. It's coming in just over a minute, so they want to get as many
There's
kills as they
no
possibly could
objective,
there.
so it doesn't
The issue
really
is
matter.
You still have another 50 seconds, and so TL
I still
will
think
revive.
Appa's gonna
They
wipe
still get to
C9 in
spend
this
their
next
money,
fight.
and they still get to return and try
Nocturnals
and
will
invest
be up.
in some vision for themselves. We'll see if those flashes end up being critical, because those were, you know, Blabber's flash and Vulcan's flash, you know, invested to try and go get those kills. But Impact also tried to get away with his, so we'll see if Cloud9 can repeat here. They've got the pre-existing control wards. Vulcan's back in place.
And Impact won't have his ulti for this fight now, right? Because that is gone. So that is actually a really big knock-on effect of that. You know, Core committed so much to trying to kill Vulcan there, and Vulcan just shut it down with one hook, you know, interrupting the Zenith Blade. And now they're posturing here around mid lane. Both teams going to try to play
Thanatos
through
almost
mid.
Mega Gnar.
He does have his ult, and APA has everything ready, so they're going to have to
Umti's
try
trying
to
to proc his Mega Gnar, but he missed his Q on him.
Thanatos with about 80% of the Gnar bar, ready to transform when the fight breaks out. C9 with control over the bot side river for now, but this has been such a difficult position to fight.
He's kind of losing his Gnar bar a bit.
With the power of the Nocturne, of the Nico, of the
Coming
Zeri
back.
combination with those ultis. C9 controlling the banana brush, just like Kobe said that you need to if you're going to be making a fight around the Drake.
Maokai ult
Team
before
Liquid
the Drake
looking
goes
for that
down.
opportunity to
Secure
potentially
it.
go in, maybe
Get it.
fight for the Drake, but it's already secured by
Get
Blabber
out,
and
maybe?
C9, and it looks
Sticking
like
around.
they aren't really wanting to fight here just yet. Thanatos does transform into
I think
Mega
Sven
Gnar,
is calling
so that means
hard to
C9
just
has
get
to
out.
back away because they do not want to fight with that ticking down.
Exactly. There wasn't really a good angle for a fight, so I think that is
Sven
correct.
was
Impact still
running
didn't
to
have his
bot
ult, so
before
Jan
the
just
Drake
takes
even
push
finished.
mid.
He was
They're
saying,
gonna move
"Get the
topside,
fuck
try
out
to
of there."
steal away a couple of these jungle camps potentially, and that is going to be their
Hi,
slight
chat. Are we
reward. But
behaving?
At the same time,
No, it's
someone has
quite
to
a
get
lot
back
of
and
illness
answer
in the chat,
Loki.
but it's all good.
You cannot be giving these side lane tier 2s. ISO gold is so much, especially for a strong scaling character like the Tristana, already on 2 items. They're just going to say, you know what, you're going for that, we're going for Baron, but I think C9 is going to be pretty wise to
They're
this.
going for Baron.
Okay, Team Liquid starting up the objective, but they don't do it particularly quickly. Thanatos has no Gnar bar. The Maiden of the Mist is back alive. Loki teleporting up to join the fight now, and the Baron is already down to below 4,000 HP. Team Liquid looking to secure it.
Oh my god!
Jumps in to steal the Baron at the 11.
Oh, big one from Appa!
Killing spree, and APA goes into the back line looking to find the kill on Sven. Umpty chasing after the carry, and Yawn has got 2. They may have lost the Baron, but Team Liquid's winning the fight.
They need to get out C9,
Thanatos
but I don't think
will
they
be
can.
the third to fall as Team Liquid chases him down.
He's not getting that base off.
Still looking for him as he's trying to use the Baron to power and recall, but he is eventually gonna go down. Meanwhile, the Tristana
They
runs
steal the
through
Baron, they
the
lose
tier
3.
2 towers to try and
I think
get
Tristana's
out.
out for
Loki
sure.
with another blast cone. Him and Vulcan will be the only ones to escape with the Baron buff.
The heroics from APA, though, this game have been incredible.
These
as
Nico ults
Blabber,
are
even
big
with
from
Nocturne
Yappy
ult there,
sacks.
even without, you know, a lot of assistance
Blabber just
on
walks
this,
in,
he just
W
kinda
someone, and
walks
Q
in
smites it
and
in their
is able to
face.
knock down the Baron. Let's see how low it gets when the smites do come out. It's at 2,000 HP. When do they go for the burst? There's the W forward to get in range, and then Q smite. Both
Did
of them
Umti
coming
smite
out at the
Blabber?
same time. Both junglers using their smite, but Blabber does secure it. But this engage from APA is what saves it from being an unmitigated disaster. They buy the space. Yawn finds an angle to just slide past Thanatos and get right in the backline.
And then Loki actually used his ultimate on Tristana to knock Umti away from him, but he knocked 2 people right next to Sven.
Yeah, the
then.
Tristana
And
ult
then
was
he just
disgusting.
assassinated Sven as Yawn jumped over the wall to follow through there too. So they were able to take down the other carry.
Oh my god, they
even
flipped
though
the
he was
Baron and
able to
lost it.
slink
There's
away
no
through
way.
the rest of the map. Still though, the Baron steal itself is massive from Blabber. He's able to combo his Q and his smite. And Cloud9, with 2 members
Appa has
wearing
no
the
flash.
buff,
The
they
engage
can
is a bit
actually
harder.
steal Siege.
Okay, Blabber fires off the ulti to create some space so that C9 can force down the tier 1 turret, but they do not want to over-push. Impact and APA both waiting on the flank to punish if they did.
Yeah, Jan bought his Vamp Scepter after completing his first 2 items, but then had so much gold that he decides, you know what, I'm just going to sit on the Vamp. I don't need a BT right now. Go straight towards that IE. So Zeri is fully online at this point. A 3,000 gold advantage over Sven right now, who still only at that 65 soul mark, you know, is not going to be that super carry threat for a very long time. As long as TL can make sure Jan is hitting and create space for him, the rest almost doesn't even matter. Like, they just have to enable this guy, and he can solo win you fights.
I mean, all they have to do now, C9, is just stall as much as they can and fight the next Drake. 140, Appa won't have flash for the Drake. Thanatos is really tanky.
The default is 1500 just when you
Senna
take
3
the objective
items.
itself, but that's what happens
Tristana's
when you
quite strong.
immediately get slammed
C9
in
have
the
a
fight
pretty big chance
right
in this
after
next fight, you
securing
know.
the objective. And Azael, the way that you worded it earlier, I think was accurate, that APA
Look at the
saved
top
that fight
items.
from being a disaster for Team Liquid, but at the same
Can
time,
they find
Blabber
a
saved
pick?
it from being a total disaster
Can
for
they
C9.
find a
Because if
pick?
TL got the 3 kills and they won the Smite fight, all of a sudden it's a Team Liquid bulldozer heading straight for the C9 structure.
Yeah, exactly. They would pick
Senna
up
items
so
don't do
many
damage.
advantages off of that. So Blabber,
No, they do
a
damage. They do
game-changing
damage.
play,
Let him cook.
And C9 trying to reclaim some vision
Also,
here,
the
but
Black
there are
Cleaver has
multiple
pretty
members in
decent
that side
value.
brush.
Death Brush for TL. Doesn't catch anyone yet.
Okay, Umpty and APA.
They're getting question
just
mark
take
pinged.
their exit here. Core and Jan both hanging out
68
nearby.
souls.
As Impact is going to be marching down mid lane. They're getting set up. You can see the recalls happening right now. They want to be ready to make whatever purchases they can and then show up for the Drake. This is Soul if Team Liquid takes it.
And they definitely are going to be looking for it. Loki just going to jump aggressively here, looking for
Yes,
a little
Navori.
bit of
He should
chip
have it up
onto
again.
Impact, but does have quite a bit of armor at this point. You can see most of the players on TL do have their upgraded shoes.
Need to start stacking Mega
Team
Gunnar.
Liquid not gonna take a ton
Don't
of
forget, if
damage there
Umpty
from that
steals
crit
this,
just yet. Although Loki does
it's
have two
Soul.
fully completed items, one of them is not Lord Dominic's Regards, so it is more difficult to punch through these tankier frontliners of TL.
They're dropping bot waves.
C9, though, they know that there's 10 seconds left on the Drake. They want to have control over the pit, control over the banana brush. Their
They
control
get the
ward
Krabby
is going
Patty.
to be removed by TL in the mid lane side brush now, as immediately the Scuttle Crab is secured.
I
The
like what
vision
Thanatos is
blasting
doing. He's
out
like
shows
zoning away
where
Appa.
TL is. APA off to the side there.
Yep,
C9's
yep.
got to keep an eye on him.
Maokai
If
ult
they
will come
want
out
to
again
be
here.
able to have a chance here in the fight as Blabber fires off the ulti. The Dragon's not dead
Q
yet.
smite is easy.
It's gonna be secured by
Umpty's
Blabber
dead.
now.
Yon knocked out.
He's not in the
Appa
fight
goes in.
longer.
Tristana's
C9
dead.
scrambling to try to
It's
get
only
away,
Sven.
and Team Liquid is looking to take another fight.
But Sven's
It's a fight
frying.
from Sven, though. Finds the kill to APA, but TL still winning for now.
Oh, Thanatos in the back.
Puts hero
Can he get
on the
Yon?
wall, but he can't find
Thanatos!
Yon.
Oh, he snipes him.
With the Q.
He snipes him.
Gunnar for the win for C9 to take the fight. They
Triple
come out
kill
on
for
top.
Thanatos.
A triple kill
No flash
for
on impact.
Thanatos. It's a
He just needs to
4
dodge
for
the
2
reds.
so far for C9, and they want to make it an ace.
Root comes out and misses.
Trying
Thanatos
to
can
fight
jump the
these
wall.
guys off in a 1 versus 3, but it's more
Cook
like
him
a
a bit.
2v3.
The wife's frying
The
Sven.
man's about to kill
How the
Sven.
Yorick?
Impact trying his hardest, trying to fight these guys off. But
Whoa,
no,
quadra kill for
the
Thanatos.
ace and the Dragon
The fight was
for
good by Yappa
C9.
because he one-shot
Buster
Loki.
shot
That's a
that
volume
knocked Jan
increase.
over the wall, I
But
think,
Sven,
there
look how
was
much
so
Sven
critical for
did.
Loki. We have to watch this one more
Umpty
time.
just goes in and gets hooked and dies.
Umpty, and Blabber again with the smite secure was absolutely massive. Thanatos was coming on this angle here. Umpty dies off pretty much immediately, but watch as Jan goes in. He just gets sent back over the wall here. That Buster shot pushed him out of the fight, and Menti was not a big
Yeah,
contributor.
it was a good
so as he
Tristana ult. I don't
re-enters,
think
Thanatos
maybe
is able
Jan
to
gets
find
one
him.
shot. I don't know, but at least it helps Sven.
Loki got burst down. With his dying breaths, he kicks the other carry out
This
of the
Q
fight.
from Thanatos.
And
Boom.
Thanatos then
Headshot.
has room to work
Big
with.
Q.
The Gnar cleans up. The final fight here of Impact and his maiden versus Sven and Vulcan, the two duos going after each other, eventually gets turned with a third member as well, and Thanatos joining. But Cloud9, massive stuff for this squad.
What?
They came back
Yappa
and
sex?
they're
He's
doing
caught.
No one's there, though.
Loki has space
Nobody
TP. Has
is
red buff
there.
actually.
APA gets picked off. That is a 50-second death timer. He had
Oh,
just
he
used
buffered
his
it.
teleport as well. So
Beautiful
even if he comes
Loki.
back to life, he's got to hoof it all the way over here.
He's got to
Their
hoof
only
it.
hope is that Thanatos also has no GP. He got
Surely Nocturne ult won't steal the Baron, right?
Enough that we can fight.
Okay, Vulcan dredge lining away from TL. The 4-man approach towards C9, who have already got the Baron, down to about half HP.
No flash
Blabber
on Jan.
flashing forward to follow his own ulti as immediately
Ooh, a
Cloud9
bit deep
are
from
ready to
Thanatos,
send
but he
it.
gets the
Thanatos
stun
to
into the
back
wall.
line, going after Jan, stuns him up here with the wall of the lightning crash.
Loki jumps over everyone.
Tries to
It's
run,
over. Wow,
but
TL 3-0'd them.
Loki
I
hunts
Sinan
him
3-0'd them rather.
down.
There's no way Sinan
C9,
3-0'd them.
clean ace.
What
Huge
the
stuff from them.
fuck?
They knew since they got the pick and they still had Maokai ultimate, they just started.
This game was in such a good spot for them, but they flipped the Baron, lost the Baron, and then C9 got 3 items because they could stall. Then they lost 2 dragons back to back.
They're not even going for the Baron. It's only APA that's going to be
Oh
respawning.
my god, TL,
On
no.
everyone else. They got that kill. Are they going to be able to take the series here?
And you can see them using Vulcan and Blabber to tank the turret instead of losing the
Appa can
potential
ult
minion
flash and
wave.
kill the
As
wave,
long as
I
they
guess,
have the
but-
minions, they can keep going forward. 10 seconds on Core JJ, 15 on Umpty and Yawn. C9 continue their push towards the Nexus turret. APA goes in for the Pop Blossom, looking to clear out the wave, but the ace is there for C9. They've still got a couple of minions left. Core JJ trying to throw everything at him to stop this push, but C9
It's over.
will not
Oh
be
my
held
god, it's
here.
over.
Umpty can't do enough
Wow.
damage into the back
Well
just
played by
yet.
C9.
And
That Baron was a
C9
lifeline.
3-0
That
Team
Baron steal was a
Liquid.
lifeline from
What a
Blabber.
comeback from Cloud9 in that final
Allows them to
game.
stall the game.
TL having some great moments.
It's
Yawn
not even
getting into a
midnight.
really good
What the
position, but
fuck?
Those last 2 fights
What the
were
fuck was that
massive
series,
for
man?
Cloud9.
Where's my banger
Loki
at?
Buster shotting Yawn over the wall, and then Thanatos killing him off by that
Caedrel's
dragon
first
fight,
LTA
and then that
co-stream
fight
weekend
over
was
by Baron.
fucking
ABA
cheeks,
gets
man.
caught. Yawn has no flash, so Thanatos just full sends it.
That was
flashes on
OG
him,
Niels
stuns him
on Senna.
against the
That was
wall.
OG
He
Niels
cleanses,
on
but he
Senna.
gets hit by the wall up right after. As soon as they take down Yawn, they know it is done. It is dusted. Cloud9 charge forward, take the series.
LEC was a banger.
Cloud9
True. LEC was a
bouncing
banger.
back from that defeat they suffered at the
Well
hands
played
of
by
FlyQuest
C9.
ever so quickly. They looked massive today.
Well played by
Now
C9.
Cloud9 has a rematch
All right.
set against FlyQuest as they
Chat, I'm gonna piece it. I gotta catch a flight in like not long in the morning. So I need to pack. I need to pack right now. Tomorrow we got another stream. I'll be live at like 2 p.m.-ish. 2-3 p.m. I'll go live. European time. And then we will do Los Ratones scrims from the bootcamp. And then we will do LEC MSI best of 5 Koi versus G2 mega banger. Alright. Shout out to all the lurkers, bidders, gifted, shout out, subbers, dollars, resubbers, yo, NA fans, much love. Thank you for joining me on the LTA co-stream. The games are kind of mid. Hopefully the next ones are better. Here's a big kiss. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye.